Welcome back to the Pesky Report, brought to you by Beyond the Monster. It's Matthew here hosting the weekday show. We've got Bayleigh on the pod. We've got Isiah on the pod back joining us as well. Guys, how are you doing? I'll ask Isiah first since he's not as hasn't been as frequent to the show. How are you doing, man?
Good, man. Yeah, thanks for having me. Happy to be here, and good series against the A's for the most part. So yeah, can't complain.
And that's the episode. Thank you all for tuning in today. No, Bayleigh, how are you doing? How's everything going?
Good. Everything's going well. Just tired from a new job, and that's why I haven't been on as much. But glad I was able to make this one here today, and we can talk some Sox.
Heck yeah. Well, glad you could make it as well. Been a little bit of a rotating cast for the weekday show. I know the last time that we recorded, it was just me and Jordan and Isiah, I think. And then the week before that, it was just me and Jordan. And then the week before that, it was before I was back. And so it's been a little bit of a rotating cast, but definitely excited to be back. Oh, actually, no, I take it back. It was me and Doink last week. The week before that was me and Isiah and Jordan. So we've had just a huge rotation. Appreciate all of you guys for being flexible and hopping on a week-to-week basis. Going to welcome Isiah to the weekday show for the rest of the season this year, because we have been down. Kevin hasn't been able to make the recordings as of late, but he will be returning. For now, we will have Isiah filling in on a regular basis if he's available. So excited for that, and excited to talk about this victorious road trip. I don't know about you guys, but I am just ready for the games to not be at 10 o'clock at night again.
Fine
Bayleigh,
for me.
I was going to say.
It was nice. I got to actually watch them after work and watch them live, because sometimes I don't get to watch the games live. I have to watch them recorded. So it was kind of nice for me. But for you all, I completely understand.
Yeah, that West Coast lifestyle, it's not as glamorous as it's chalked up to be, I guess.
No, not always.
Yeah, the 3 o'clock start time for the game on Wednesday really threw me for a loop. I wasn't expecting it to be at 3 o'clock. I just got the notification that it was starting, and I was like, well, what?
Oh.
Wait, what? 3 o'clock? I was expecting maybe 3 o'clock West Coast time and, 6 o'clock over here or something, but.
No, a random noon time. Okay, I get it was a getaway game, but noon was a strange time.
Yeah, it was super random. Obviously, we took the first two games, lost the third one, so series victory, which is good. Ended the road trip 3-3 after we lost the last series. I guess like the vibes coming back home would have been immaculate again if we had won the game today. I say today, the game yesterday, but we still came back without losing any ground. We're still in striking distance to take the Yankees over after this series this weekend. Bayleigh, what do you think? What's your thoughts on? I guess we'll just start with like game one. Garrett Crochet starting out there in Oakland. His last outing, gave up 5 home runs, or 6 home runs, 5 or 6 home runs, 7 runs. Like, we weren't really sure what we're going to get. What did you think about Garrett Crochet?
Oh, he looked like the Garrett Crochet we know and love. And it was great to see him bounce back after arguably the worst start that he's had in his Red Sox uniform. I love that he's talked up Connor Wong, because it's kind of like we're at this point where it's like, what does Wong do? Like, he's still like, there's zero power in that bat, still no home runs. He's got a couple extra base hits here and there, which is good at least. But it's good to know that it's like he has this like coaching mentality, and he's like noticing things in in his pitchers, so he's still bringing a huge value. So it's great to hear that, and it's always so nice to see Garrett Crochet shove for sure. It's beautiful.
Yeah, Crochet shoving against a bad team. I mean, okay, well, let's take that back a little bit. They have not been a bad offense. They're just
No, they've
a
got
bad
power.
overall team.
Yeah.
Isaiah, you have been to Sacramento before, yes?
I'm not. No, not Sacramento.
You have not been to Sacramento. After watching this series on TV, would you ever want to go to Sacramento?
I have a friend who lives out there, and they said it's not that bad, but I don't know if I'd go to Sacramento for the ballpark if that's what you're asking. I think I'd be able to get that.
I think we went at a good time because I went there in July last year and it was 115 degrees when I was there. I cannot imagine playing outside in 115-degree weather. That sounds awful.
Yeah, that's gonna be. I was living out in Vegas for a couple of years, and I hate the summers out there, so I can't imagine what the A's are gonna have to put up with in Vegas. I mean, it's the same with the Diamondbacks.
Yeah,
the summer
at least
too.
The
but,
roof.
Yeah, the roof. Yeah.
Thank God. I mean, because if you're gonna build in Vegas and not have a retractable roof or I don't even know if it's a retractable roof or if it's a fixed roof, because when would you possibly open that roof?
Right.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that ballpark was so small and the ball was flying in the air. I felt bad for anyone that had to pitch in that ballpark because of how much the ball was flying. The Red Sox took advantage of it. You saw, that's jumping ahead a little bit, so we won't get that far. But yeah, Crochet stepped up, shut those guys down. 7 innings, shut out.
Beautiful.
I think it was pretty. 10 Ks. Like, he showed us that aberration the other day was simply because he was emotional that Roman Anthony got pulled out of the game. I think that's all it was.
Which happens. I mean,
and
so the rest of us.
He'll do it to you. Yeah,
for sure.
Shed it to you.
It's hard to focus when Roman Anthony got hurt, and clearly, the boys were struggling for a little bit, but it was nice to see them and the bats waking up, see some momentum through these games. It felt like, the last game was a little sleepy, but it was also like, I think someone had made this in our pesky report chat. It was like the most punt lineup of all time. We had a long time since we've seen a punt lineup like that. Like, I'll pull it up here in a second, but yeah, that was not.
Yeah, that's the thing that like Cora does. And while I do understand you've done your job, you took the series, I still, like, my stomach churns when I see a punt lineup or when I see it's a bullpen game. Like, those things, just like the pit of my stomach is just like, ugh, because it's like, yes, you did your job, but I'm also like the idea of like, you have to win every game to get into the postseason. It's like, we're gearing for October. Yeah, but you kind of need to win in September to get to October also. So, I don't know. So it kind of, I get it, but I don't like it.
Yeah, and I think it's years of since 21 we made the playoffs, but that was barely. So I totally get the strategy. The problem is when you have like a losing team for the last 5 years, it's like we need every win we can get. So I think it's like that reaction. With this year, it's like, okay, it makes more sense now because we're a good place in the wild card. But I'm not trying to see Nate eating in my 6 hole twice a week personally. Maybe I'm crazy, but
no, I never need to see it.
No, Nate Eaton is a fine quality bench player. Like, we need to get our guys back though. We need Wilyer Abreu back. We need Roman Anthony back. But
the Wilyer thing is kind of concerning because I don't think anybody thought it would be this long, and it's just taking so long for him to get back. And you realize how much you not only miss his bat, but you miss his defense and right. And it's like we really need him back. And I know Roman, we'll probably not see him at all until, knock on wood, playoffs and maybe a deeper playoff run. But and these guys have to play well together to get there, and it's gonna be tough. And these next 3 games are, in my opinion, the biggest games we've got all season. They're huge. You need to win all 3.
I mean, they definitely need to win all 3 because right
Yes.
after that, it's 3 more against the Athletics at home, and
Mhm.
you could really start to see yourself building a sizable,
Beautiful.
lead there, or even just a sizable grip at the top.
Mhm.
And then if you're still within striking distance, we play Toronto 3 games right at the end of the month. Like that could be a huge series. Now, it could be a huge series for us. It could be a huge series to decide if the Yankees win the division or the Blue Jays, depending on how this next couple of days go.
Yeah.
Could be big for either team. But it's incredibly impactful. I almost like it's crazy. There's a lot of things that happen in the games, but I almost like talking about more what's to come. It is like almost more relevant than talking about the games,
Because
But
it's
I
big
guess we can
games.
kind of just
Mm.
we can just jump around. I guess then we don't really need
Yeah.
to go
All
game
right,
by
well, let's
game
do
at
the
this
elephant in
point.
the room. We all want to talk about game 2 here. Let's be honest.
Yes. Ah, what a
Yeah,
beautiful stat.
Yeah, that
Like,
was
it was
sick.
a late start, but it was an early start.
yeah. Mhm. Yes, it was.
See what you did there, nice.
Late for us, but yeah, I
Early
mean
for him.
Connelly Early and Kyle Harrison both got called up in this series.
Mhm.
We've been talking about this for a while. Kyle Harrison had been dealing with an ankle injury, and just kind of like he was supposed to maybe pitch last week against Cleveland, and it didn't happen. And then the team, so this is really interesting. Hold on 1 second. I got this like a weird yawn coming up. That was really weird. The team's been treating Peyton Tolley like a little strange. Like the Peyton Tolley situation's a little
Very
strange
weird.
because first they're like, we're going to call up someone to do a spot start last week so that we give Peyton Tolley enough rest to
Mhm.
start on regular rest. And then they're like, they do that. And they call up Kyle Harrison. They have him do an MRI. It comes back and they're like, actually, you know what? We're going to do a bullpen game instead. And we're not calling up
Mm.
Kyle Harrison. So they never made their move official. Then they let Tolley start. Um, I don't even think so they didn't even use that bullpen game to reset him because then when he was in Arizona, he pitched on 4 days rest
Mhm.
and it didn't go great.
No.
Like
No.
Yeah, not
that was a
ideal.
bad start. And then they use him again in the Oakland series. Let's see, that was 1, 2, 3, 4 on 4 days rest.
Mhm.
Okay, no, so that's what it was. This was 4 days rest. It was 5 days before, but they didn't give him that extra rest, and then they only let him pitch one time through the order. He still didn't look super great. Um, he was fine, but he gave up 2 runs in 2 innings. Like, that's not ideal. So that is just the way they've been handling that situation. Super weird. I don't think they view him as like a starter in their rotation right now. I think Early kind of shows that he's more ready for that role. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Yeah, it feels like it's kind of like all hands on deck until we hit the playoffs, and then it feels like because obviously the first 3 starters are set with Crochet, Bayo, Giolito, and
Mhm.
it feels with the fourth is kind of just like, all right, who's been pretty good for us the last month, and even if they have been good, they're probably going, I don't know, 3 or 4 innings max maybe.
Mm.
It feels like their 4 starters just a combo of like Connelly, Peyton, maybe Kyle Harrison. Or they should probably just start Bernardino for the first inning with our win rate with it, just for the
I mean,
for the
that'd be
bit.
4
But
lefties. That'd be 4 lefties right there if they did
yeah,
that.
yeah, for
Do it.
real.
No.
Just go. Just Bernardino to start. Peyton Tolley, Kyle Harrison, Connelly Early.
Straight
Boom.
to Chapman. Call it a day.
Straight to
All
Chapman. Yeah.
just boom.
That would be so. Steven Matz in there. Just sprinkle that in. Justin Wilson, if it gets in a jam, they need to get a jam.
Mm-hmm.
We have so many freaking lefties. I wonder if, like, I was thinking about this the other day. We went from like never having any lefties that were good in the system to having like only lefties.
Mhm.
Do we think that that's because Craig Breslow was a lefty?
Could
Like,
be.
is he biased towards scouting
Lefty
lefty
lover.
relievers and lefty pitchers?
Hey, if you can
Like,
find a
very
good
funny.
lefty, hell yes. Like, give me all the talented left-handed pitchers. Like, you can't have enough if you ask me. But it is funny that especially in our bullpen, our most reliable are our lefties. Whereas, like, Slayton's it's been rough since he's come back. So, like, our outside of Whitlock, it's like, who's your reliable right-hander? And it's like you're hoping that Slayton could kind of come into that a little bit. Hicks, it's like he's in, Jupiter now. So,
Well, we're never going to see him again.
yeah.
Well, no. So, okay, we can't downplay Garrett Whitlock, right? Obviously, he's been
Incredible.
amazing. And Greg Weisser, like, for what he
Pretty
is,
good. He's been pretty
is
good.
like the perfect middle relief guy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he is the definition of like a perfect middle relief this year.
Mm-hmm.
So those are those are the only two righties we have. And then we have Zach Kelly right now.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
it's like hit or miss with Kelly.
I think you'd prefer one more right-handed pitching late inning reliever would be sick. Because like you said, I don't want to see Weiser past the 7th max.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe if it was like to get one out in the 7th. You know what I mean? Like, I'd be okay with something like that.
Yeah,
But
just him throw like 3 sweepers away to Stanton. I'm down.
Yeah.
I'm there.
Yeah. I mean, he would just he did, I think, annihilate Stanton. It'd be too easy.
When Stanton swings and he swings like, and he's completely fooled, it is one of the ugliest things I've ever seen, and I love it. I love how ugly it is. You're like, ooh, you had absolutely no idea what was being thrown at you there, Giancarlo.
I respect it. He's very unique. Like there's a mode on MLB The Show where it's called like guest pitch. It feels like he just plays guest pitch. Like he's just like, all right, going up there, swinging one pitch.
Yep.
All right, well, maybe it'll be next pitch. Maybe the next pitch.
And then he's out on 3 straight.
Yeah. Or he hits it 500 feet because he's bound to get one of them.
That too. It's a lot of power.
He's what he does on a typical basis, like the results he gets, it astounds me. He's hitting like really well since he's come back this year, and it's actually I literally every time I look at his stat line, I'm like, I've seen him swing though. Like it's hard computing that swing equals these results.
Yeah,
it's like Spencer Jones down in the minor leagues. Have you seen his batting stance?
Yeah, it's real weird. It's kind of like really wide open, right? Isn't it?
It's wide open and like squatting.
Yeah.
And he's really tall too. So like it's already a super weird batting stance, but because he's so tall, it just crams him in like even more. And it looks so awkward.
Yeah, but I think that oh my God, the Wilson kid though for the Athletics might have the strangest swing I have ever seen. He looks like he's pooping. Like I'm like, what is this man doing?
Yeah, there's so much going on like pre-swing for him. Like
yeah, it would drive me absolutely. If I had to watch that on a nightly basis, I would go crazy.
Now Wilson is good, but he is very, very contact. Like it doesn't surprise me at all that he doesn't hit for power, based on how like fidgety he is, and like all those things kind of remind me a lot of like what Dustin Pedroia or like what Nomar used to do, like guys that were really good like contact guys and not necessarily known for power guys.
He seems
a little bit of pop there,
like a Bo Bichette mold, less power. You know, a lot of hits, a lot of singles, doubles.
Yeah,
not a great defender.
Nick Kurtz is scary though.
Nick Kurtz is huge.
Oh my word! I hope that we can work something out with the A's to get one of their guys, because him or Tyler Soderstrom or Brent Rooker, like they have too many first base guys right now. But they have a good young core, and it's crazy. They called up Zach Geloff, or I don't remember how to pronounce his last name. Geloff. He was just chilling out in AAA, and I remember like 2 years ago he was like one of the top 15 second basemen in the league. And now he was just chilling in the minors. They have the top prospect in baseball that they acquired in the trade for Mason Miller, who's also a shortstop. Yep. And like
they've been excellent in the hitting department for player development. It does feel like, I mean, who was their last like really good pitcher? I mean,
Mason
Miller,
Mm.
closer. Was it
Yeah.
Luzardo? They traded
Yeah,
him
the
for what?
Jesus lizard. Yeah.
Starling Marte or something, right? Something like that.
Yeah, he was good. Starlin Marte, I thought was a hitter, but I don't know. I could be wrong.
Yeah, but I think they traded him for
That's what I'm
Starling
saying.
Marte.
Yeah, for
Yeah.
Luzardo.
Oh,
think
okay,
so.
got you. Yeah, I don't even know, like, the last good A's pitcher that I can remember is like the Moneyball era, like Barry
Barry
Zito and
Zito.
Dan
Oh, my
Herron.
love.
Um, I mean, obviously John Lester was on the A's for a little bit, but he wasn't homegrown.
Yeah, Luzardo for a couple months of Starling Marte.
Mm.
Typical A's thing.
Yeah, doesn't make any sense. I mean, the A's.
There's no pitching. Yeah.
It's kind of like the opposite problem that the Mariners have. Like
Yeah.
if the A's and the Mariners could just like swap a couple guys, they'd probably both have like balanced teams.
I mean, that's kind of how we felt. What, a year ago at this time, maybe?
Mm.
I mean, we had like Bayo, but at that point, Bayo was like a mid fours guy. I remember being like, why do we have so many hitting prospects? Like, where are our pitching prospects? Crazy what can happen in a year. Like,
Yeah, now look at.
Oh my God, I know. It's like, yeah, Connelly Early shoving in. You know, he's like 12th starting pitcher, it feels like. Maybe more this year. Just called up. It's nuts.
And
Section
Connelly
10 guys
Early
counted them out.
Yeah.
There was
How many?
13 other starting pitchers
That's wild.
ahead of him on the
That's
prior
crazy.
to this happening.
Wow.
Yeah, he just really he started in did he start in A ball or was he just Portland to start the season?
He got promoted at the end of last year, so he was in Double A already.
Okay, so
Peyton
but even
Tolley
though
did
Portland
start lower though.
Lower, yeah. And the fact that Connelly Early is somehow older than Peyton Tolley is something I'll just never compute.
It's
Yes, that's very
crazy.
funny.
It's crazy what they're doing these pitchers. Like, just reading in on all of them. Like, they're going after these guys that have like, you know, like the good extensions or like the good secondary stuff, and like just getting these guys from like 90 to 91 to like 96 like in a year. It's just, I mean, it's tough though. That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's huge. It's not like it's like, okay, 90 next year's 92 next year. Like, it's like 6-7 miles an hour in the off season. It's nuts.
Yeah. And he was dotting pretty good, like 95, 96 with no problem. And then, in his secondaries, and he can locate everything. Like, he can locate everything.
Oh, that changeup was beautiful.
Yeah.
It was a gorgeous pitch.
11 Ks.
That's
just made him look so silly.
He tied a record. It was the most.
Yeah.
He tied the record for most Ks in a debut, right? So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad.
Not bad, and especially in 5 innings and against a decent lineup.
Yeah. Very lots of power in that lineup. So, and he was able, we saw like when he loaded the bases, he was able to get out of it. So he kind of showed that like that ace gene, you know, like when you're in trouble, are you gonna give it up like, you know, pre 2025 Bayo, or are you gonna shut it down like Crochet? And I was like, it was great to see him just be like, you know what, here's my stuff, try and hit it, I'm gonna locate it. And I was like, oh, beautiful.
The real question is, do we think that Justin Wilson moves more in the box pre-swing than Connelly Early does while he's waiting to pitch every half inning? Because that was nuts.
Jacob Wilson.
That dude was running up and down the entire time.
Yeah, he was.
Dude was hyped.
Yeah, and I love to see that. Like, I'm like, I know you're like, I like the stoic guys too, but I mean, it's fun just to see being like, all right, this is how I hype myself up, and he's in it, and he's in the zone, and then it was like, boom, he's on that mound, and he's just throwing strikes. I love to see it.
Yeah,
it was
thank God Nick Pavetta's off this baseball team, because if you saw Connelly Early doing that in the dugout, would have been
he would have freaked out.
Hell raised back there.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we have our third baseman that makes 1 a.m. phone calls to his rookie catchers.
That is true.
I love that.
Yeah, so for anyone that doesn't know, it's a pretty phenomenal story that Tim Healy put out. Friend of the podcast, Tim Healy, came on, was gracious with his time, came on the live stream that the that Jordan and Derek hosted during the trade deadline, which was cool. And he gave them an hour of his time
That's
on our
awesome.
live stream talking about the trade deadline and all that stuff. So that was very cool. But he put out an article that was talking about like Alex Bregman and his impact on the team. And like an example was like when he was hurt. One night he just texted the catchers and was like, "You guys up?" And they just got together until like 3 a.m. talking about ways that they could try to help improve the pitchers. And he was talking about how he and Greg Weissert were talking about his pitch movement and his fastball versus his sinker. And like this was in spring training when they didn't even know each other. And he's like coaching these guys. And I also love that like that article dropped. And there's a ton of other awesome quotes. I think Tyler Milliken had put some of them out onto the socials. And if you have a subscription to the Globe, you should definitely go read that article. It's worth it. But there was also a quote that came out from Sam Kennedy today about Bregman, which I thought was interesting. That the timing of it was very well placed. But Sam Kennedy was like, let me get the exact quote up here actually, because I think that the context matters.
Yeah. And it still is Sam Kennedy speaking, so I don't always believe, but it was encouraging, I guess. If you hope it's encouraging.
Yeah, you got to take it with a grain of salt, but it's
Yeah.
like, okay, it's a good thing to hear.
I like what I heard. We'll go with that.
Yeah.
So he was asked about the report that Alex Bregman will opt out, and he said that'll all take care of itself. He wants to be here. We want him to be here, and I'll leave it at that. We were all surprised by that report, given, we just haven't had discussions with Alex about anything other than the goal at hand right now with what's in front of us these next 15 games. So I think, like, obviously they haven't been talking. So that was clear, right? But we knew that already because Alex was asked about that at the All-Star break. They said, "Have you been talking about contracts?" And he's like, "Nope, not at all." So that's not even new news. But I think someone took that and expanded upon it, saying, "Oh, he's definitely opting out."
He's a Boris client. He's probably for sure opting out, and opt out and then figure it out. Like it's not like I'm overly concerned about it. Like you said, he wants to be here. They want to be here, and you have to be on. Sam, you have to be on your end, actually saying and doing it. Like you can say we want him here, but like prove how much you want him here and how much of a value he is to your ball club.
Yeah, I mean the perfect scenario is like, depending on how much he's gonna get, and the market and stuff is like, would just be like having those 2 years of that high AAV left up front, and then just adding 4 years at whatever 25, 30, whatever, and just calling it a day. I mean that'd be perfect.
Yeah.
But we'll see. They might have other plans.
Yeah, I mean, that part's true. I could see them also, if he does go to free agency, just starting over from scratch and being like, all right, well, we won't do the front-loaded deal anymore, and we know you like it here. We'll do something that makes a little bit more sense for us.
Sure.
And do a lot more deferred money,
Yeah.
But I don't know.
And there's money. They have money.
It's true.
They cleared quite a bit of it.
Yeah, and it depends on their strategy in free agency next year. Like if they sign Bregman, would they be interested in getting a pitcher? And if you're going to get a pitcher, you probably want Bregman at like maybe a longer contract and bring the AAV down to 20 something, so you can give whoever 25, 30. So yeah, that's a huge part of it as well.
I just think that perhaps, okay, and this is just a thought, perhaps Craig Breslow not so great at free agent negotiations and better at trade, and better at extension conversations. So I'm almost kind of thinking that like perhaps he's going to spend money in the way that is acquiring via trade and extending, as opposed to going out and signing at the top of the market value, because that's just kind of been his MO.
Which isn't always a bad thing.
No.
As well, like obviously Soto would have been sick. But it sounds like they did the best they could. Yeah. And then the Bregman, I love the contract he signed him to. I do. I loved it. Did I want to give Max Fried, who's I think he was 31, 8-year contract? Not really. Did we need an ace? Yeah, but am I way happy with Crochet, who's 25 and we haven't signed for 6 more years with a lower AAV than Max Fried? Yes, we gave up Kyle Teal, Montgomery, but we got Navarro, so who cares? Yes. Like paying the high price is not always the best decision. It's definitely sexy, but
I feel like if we were to go out and acquire the hot topic of Joe Ryan or something like that, right? Like I could see that being a situation where you extend Joe Ryan and you
100%.
follow a very similar track, and then it's like, okay, that's the equivalent of your free agent signing. The thing that would be encouraging about the way they've acted, though, is that they've been involved in all of these guys even after making these moves. So like they're still involved in offering money to Nate Eovaldi, even though they had already signed Walker Buehler and all these guys, right? And they were even still involved in giving money to Chris Martin, or so like the guys that they like, they are willing to spend money on. It seems like very often there's just some guys that they just don't like. And so even though it would be like a positional need, it's not like somebody they're actually interested in. Like Max Fried was one of those guys where they liked Max Fried somehow. I don't really know why. Like he doesn't really match the vibe of.
And they gave him a hell of an offer. Like
they did.
I remember when the details came out, I was like, we gave that much and the Yankees went over. Like, was I bummed in the moment because Max Fried would have been sick? Yes, but I was like, dude, 7 years. I think it was like 170. We gave him maybe. I could be off by a bit, but it was more than a fair offer. So
yeah, but we lucked out in the long run because I'd rather have Crochet at that money.
It almost feels like we could have, if they had spent that money, that we could have still gone out and gotten someone via trade too. Obviously, it played out in a way that's going to work for us this year, right? And we're in a good place to make the playoffs at this point. But like going into next year, we don't have a ton of, and this is the thing, is we don't have a ton of room for the team. Like we have currently, this is crazy. Let me pull it up. It's from Red Sox payroll. Talking about the guys that we have stashed on the 60-day IL right now.
Oh, jeez.
And it's a problem. And so like, if anyone doesn't know, anyone that's moved to the Major League 60-day injured list to free up a roster spot has to be put back on the 40-man roster the second that the season ends. So that means that anyone whose contract expires, obviously, is a free agent. But who do we have that's contract that expires, right? Giolito, if he hits his inning total, and opts out, right? Who else is a free agent? Justin Wilson.
Hendricks will be. I don't think we're going to pick up his option.
Hendricks.
That's totally fine. No. Goodbye, Liam.
Hendricks. And then
Matz.
Matz would be a free agent. So that's 3 spots.
Maybe Nathaniel Lowe, depending on the option, which I think probably decline, maybe, right?
I don't think.
Or do you want the?
I don't know.
Do you want that like it's a good fallback? So I think maybe you'd pick it up. Because it's like nobody loves Tristan Casas more than I do, and you can't go into next year banking on Tristan Casas.
True.
No, but are you going to settle for Nathaniel Lowe, or are you going to shoot for a better?
That's also valid
first
too.
baseman, right? Because that's the other question is if they do pick up that, but then you could also just pick it up and then trade him if you got a better first baseman.
Yeah, it's going to be a 1 year, 15 million-ish probably commitment.
Yeah.
That ballpark.
Less than that,
easy
probably.
enough for him to move.
Yeah.
If needed. And then I think like a big thing is they need power, and I just want Kyle from Waltham back. But
that would be awesome.
So sick.
You DH him and actually make him the DH that you should have done. But it'd be great to have him back. I just don't know how Philly lets him go though.
I don't think they will, but you're right. He'd fit so perfect.
I would love it.
I would love it more than anything. The one for me that sticks out is Pete Alonso.
Yeah, well, the polar bear is going to get potentially paid. We'll see. Yeah, and is Uncle Stevie going to let him go?
Yeah.
think I found a list of all the people here. So these are the so sorry, that was a different list. This is a great account, by the way. Not only
Oh, the
does he
payroll's
provide
great.
accurate information, but also like trolls the idiots that respond to him.
Yeah,
too.
it's fun.
Sometimes he gets a little bit out of hand with it, but it's kind of funny. He's like one of the few like accounts like that just don't mind interacting.
Love a good spicy interaction every once in a while. Everybody on their toes.
Exactly. But yeah, anyways, they have like, so it's like 9 guys, and like you kind of forget about some of these guys, like Luis Guerrero. They just moved Von Grissom over there.
See ya.
Yeah, he's
which
gone.
he's out of options, but like, so they got Guerrero,
What a mess
Houck,
up that was of a
Cutter,
trade.
Koss. So like, let's just count this out: Guerrero, Houck, Cutter, Casas, Grissom. So that's 5 right there. Sandoval, 6. Obviously Houck's going to be out for another year, but he's going to have to take up a 40-man spot until they can move him back there. And that's where this comes in. It's really interesting because now they put Early on the 40-man, and like, he didn't need to be. You know what I mean? Like, he wasn't Rule 5 eligible this offseason, so he wasn't about to be picked up. He didn't have to be protected. They chose to put him on, same with Tolley. And so now that they've made that move to put those guys on there, which I'm not disagreeing that they shouldn't be on there, but they had to weigh not only like the impact that would have right now, but that they also have to weigh the impact that's going to have this offseason, when now they have another guy taking up another roster spot. And these aren't like bullpen arms, they're starters. So if you're trying to make sure you have that bullpen flexibility, I mean, there's the obvious guys like Isaiah Campbell, gone, right? There's a couple other of those guys down there. But then you're gonna have to start getting to those like tricky conversations where it's like, do we DFA? Cooper Criswell is out of options. So is he gone?
Honestly, I know people love Cooper Criswell. I'm very fine with saying goodbye to Cooper Criswell if it means that but it's like, it's not at the cost of saying goodbye to him now. It's at the idea of like, your roster is so good in 2026 that bye Cooper. Like,
yeah, it speaks to like the fantastic depth they've built. That they can actually cut Cooper Criswell. And it's like, yeah, I guess it makes sense. The other interesting thing would be what they do with Houck, because correct me if I'm wrong, but he's obviously going to be gone probably all of next year. And then there's that that incoming the CBA stuff, or sorry,
lockout.
And then the lockout, and then he's only going to have 1 year left till he's a free agent anyways. So is he worth not only keeping on your payroll but paying, I don't know, maybe $5 to $8 million to have 1 year left at Tanner Houck coming off Tommy John?
And even that, I mean, if you lose all of 27, I'm pretty sure he's gone. And like that, I think that's his last season of having control. So we've maybe seen the last pitch that Tanner Houck's ever thrown as a Boston Red Sox, because I think
so
27 is his final season.
If he misses all of 26 with Tommy John, we'd have him we'd only have him for 27, and then he's
and that's, are we going to have a lockout or are we not? Like, so how much of, and if he does come back, how much of a season are we going to have? Or so
where's he even fit in the rotation at that point?
You're not in the rotation, buddy.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
They go back to saying, well, like, remember there was the closer conversation with him because he had stuff that was like, all right, maybe he's got that closer mentality. So like, did they go back to trying to push him in?
Team wise, they'd love to do that, right? Probably. Yeah. But him and his agent are not going to want to do that whatsoever. And yes, he's signed with the contract there, but coming off Tommy John 1 year to your free agent, that's like your time to ball out and show you can be a starting pitcher again. So, and then we have Cutter Crawford. Like
I always forget about Cut.
I know, it's crazy.
Well, that's why it's like so there's guys that are going to have to be traded, and they're going to have to be traded fast because they're not going to just. Like, there's going to be 2 or 3 guys that they can DFA, like Chris Murphy. I love Chris Murphy. He's gone. There's just no way. and they're going to have to DFA some guys, but they're not just going to DFA and try to get nothing in return. Craig is
Mhm.
actually, I can't remember the last person that Craig DFA'd and got nothing in return. Like
Mhm.
I can't remember because he's done such a good job of trading them away for something.
Was it Ali Sanchez, and we traded for him back?
We got him. Yeah, that was the inverse of that. We DFA'd him and then spent money to get him back.
Oh yeah.
It's so funny. That's so dumb. I don't know why we don't just sign a bunch of guys like this is kind of a side note, but like why don't we just go out and like sign a bunch of minor league contracts for like JD Martinez and stuff like that and just get these guys stashed in the minors
See how it
and
goes.
then just like do minor league trades with other teams.
Mm.
Think about it. The minor league trade deadline is like you can do minor league trades. So
Mm.
I don't understand why like how are we able to pick up Ali Sanchez after the trade deadline? Because he's a minor league player. And
Mm-hmm.
then we just add them back to the 40-man roster. So why don't we just sign other guys that other teams could use and then basically extend the trade deadline by like
Mm.
testing these guys out in the minors and then just like, hey,
Yeah,
JD, we got you a team.
I mean, JD's made hundreds of millions of dollars in baseball. You think he wants to come back for a month for a
Yeah.
pro rate of however to play for in Worcester?
No, he would probably
He
not.
said
But
no.
Worcester, maybe. I mean, Manny Ramirez loved playing in Worcester. Maybe it'd be a situation like that. You know, it's
Yeah,
like
there we go.
they
Argument
want to
done.
go down and play.
The king
But
of the Red
I
Sox.
think about what a boost that would be, though, for like the young kids too, to have like a veteran come in for like the last
JD
couple weeks of the
Martinez just
season.
walks in.
Just pay him $10 million to play for like 2 months in Worcester.
Mm.
He said, "Not my money."
I mean, whatever works, whatever works. That's boat crash money right there.
Won't be the first time they wasted $10+ million in AAA. Jordan Hicks. But yeah.
Yep.
You
My
mean
God.
Rusney Castillo?
Well, yes, but like that actually didn't count towards the CBT. So that was pure
Mm.
just John Henry's pocket money, which don't give a shit about to be
Yeah.
honest.
You're a billionaire. Not my money. You want to pay him to be the pride of Pawtucket? Do it.
100%.
Yeah, anyways, that was my kind of side idea of like how to extend the trade deadline a little bit.
I just miss
Just a
that we
bunch of
don't have the
guys make a
waiver
bunch of minor
deadline
league trades.
anymore.
Right?
Like, because
Yeah.
that's how, like, in 17, that's how the Astros added Verlander.
Yeah, we
Was-
made that big Beckett Crawford Gonzo trade after the deadline
yeah.
because no other team was going to pick up the contracts, obviously, and we were able to slide that through. So,
Mm.
yeah.
Just dumped them all in waivers.
Man, that
The Dodgers
2012
are like, we'll
team.
take all those guys.
Thank God. 2013 was a gift to us because we had to deal with the ridiculousness that was Bobby Valentine, and then we had like the prima donnas with like Gonzalez and things like that. So, bye.
I was so excited that year too. It's a whole different combo.
Oh, on paper, that team was supposed to be disgusting.
I was so
Yeah.
excited when Carl
Yeah.
Crawford came here.
Yep.
Ugh.
Because we saw what he did against us, and we're like, man, we
know.
got this man now, and then it was just right down the pooper.
And even from like just a watchability standpoint, just awesome to watch.
Oh yeah, dynamic.
It's all right. We got Duran now, so
Yeah,
we got it.
we got other
For
guys stealing.
100th of the money we paid Carl Crawford, so I'll take it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I just feel like Carl Crawford was that's got to be one of the biggest disappointments that I've ever experienced as a fan. I was so young and I was like, this guy is awesome because like you said, he always was terrorized us. And I can't, it's crazy to me. Like the fall off that he had from being a all-star left fielder to that, like insane.
Same thing with Jacoby.
What a beautiful thing.
I mean,
Speaking
hate
of
to be that
Jacoby.
guy. It probably happened with Duran when he was free agent. It's neither here nor there. So it's a later combo.
Speaking of Jacoby, saw him and Dustin Pedroia at the Arizona series that they were hanging out together before the game, which was kind of cool. Got me in my feels a little bit.
Yeah, it's also his
Jacoby's got
birthday. Happy birthday,
his
Jacoby.
kids. Oh, today, yeah, that's right. I
Yeah,
forgot his
he's a
birthday's on
9/11 baby.
9/11.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is the anniversary of my first ever Red Sox game that I went to. I went to my first game on 9/11. It was 2007. So it was right at the end of the World Series championship run, playoff
Good
hunt.
year. Good year.
And it was a game against the Devil Rays. It was a Tim Wakefield start. He gave up 7 runs.
Damn, darn all the throwbacks.
And
Jesus.
yeah, it didn't look great. People started leaving, the fans started emptying out. And then the Red Sox ended up winning 14-8 or something like that. So the rest of the game we just like kicked the crap out of them. And I got to see David Ortiz hit a home run. Jacoby hit a home run on his birthday, which I didn't know at the time, but Jacoby hit a home run. Pedroia hit a home run. JD Drew hit a home run. So it was like, it was very, very
That team
good
was
game
so
to see.
good.
It was
God,
stacked.
that 07 team, that 08 team is my biggest heartbreak because they were even better than 07. I needed them to go back to back and then to go Game 7 ALCS and to lose to the newly minted Rays was just like crushed my soul, and it still is my biggest heartbreak. That team.
That was a David Price playoffs, no?
Yeah, because that was when Price had just come up. Like, because did he go straight from Vandy to the majors, or was he in the minors briefly? But I know he made it the same calendar year from when he was drafted. So he was drafted in 08 and made the Rays and wasn't used out of the bullpen, which is something that I think the Red Sox can do with like a Peyton Tolley. Like, if you can help him figure out his control a little bit more. I mean, that's a weapon. That was a huge weapon. Like, the Rays don't go to the World Series in 08 if it's not for calling up David Price.
Mm-hmm.
To I think Isaiah's point earlier, they just need to piece these guys together and make like one good starter. We don't need Peyton Tolley to be this like world beater. But I heard this on another show, so I wish I knew which show it was. I'd give them credit. But they talked about like if we did piggyback like Harrison and Early and Tolley, putting Tolley in the middle because he's got such a different vibe. So like the other two guys are kind of like secondary stuff is like very refined. They don't throw as hard. And so you start with like Early and then you go Tolley right after that. He's just fastball right down your throat. And then you like, go right back to Harrison, who's just going to loop it in there. And it could be an interesting change of pace and just get you through an entire game there, right? And then if you need to go to Chapman, flamethrower
102, right?
Yeah, especially too if they're like the Game 4 starter. You're probably starter. If they're gonna be in that Game 4 rotation, like you can use them again because like you're not putting that Game 4 rotation more than once, anyways. So like kind of after that, it's like cool. If we need you again, we'll use you, or even maybe before, like Game 2, you want to throw, Tolley out there for inning or two. He's probably fine.
Right, because it's going to be at least 3 days before they throw again.
And he's going to go 2 innings again max. So,
right.
Yeah, and then I was just going to say I really like that idea of maximizing what you have with the 3 of them.
This is so exciting, guys. I'm excited that we get to talk about the playoffs in September.
Knocking on wood. Oh, I hate jinxing things. I want it to be October just so we're there. It's happening, because like Isaiah said, it's been since 01, and that was even a surprise. Like, nobody really thought that team was going to be that good, and they were. Yeah, this team, we had expectations,
and they barely inched in. They were actually pretty crappy, like the second half of the season. The 21 Sox were.
That was the Bobby Dahlbeck breakout year too. So,
dude, you remember we watched the playoff games in Hawaii?
We did, yeah. That was we were currently driving down a volcano when they got eliminated from the playoffs.
Yeah, I remember that.
What a place to get eliminated, though.
Yeah, we're like swerving around cows, like just grazing in the middle of the road, like
one
beautiful
point thought
scenery.
Thought about driving into the volcano after the some of the hits we gave up. But.
Oh god. Yeah.
That was a crazy great trip. And we had just gone actually no, you weren't there, Isaiah. Because you were living in Vegas at the time, but I had just gone to the Yankees Red Sox playoffs wild card game. The one game
Ooh, that was fun. You
the
were
one
there?
game playoff game. Yeah, so I went to that game and then like immediately went to go to Hawaii right after that.
Good
Um,
times.
and it was fun, really fun. But that playoff game, that was electric, and that was
Mhm.
like the best game I've ever been to. I paid $250 for standing room tickets,
Oof.
and
Worth
it
it.
was still like way worth it. Like the best game I've ever been to. So
Yeah.
That was a beautiful game.
just need that back again.
The one thing I was gonna before we wrap up, whatever, was like how important this A series was, based on the fact that like after the Anthony injury and then kind of a crappy series against the Diamondbacks,
Yeah.
I was pretty fearful that we're just like, wrap it up, boys. We'll get a wild card spot and we're just gonna poop our way to the playoffs. Like I don't think we'd
Yeah.
lose a playoff spot. It was nice to see the boys like have a little bit of, I don't want to say hard in them, but they didn't completely give up on the season.
Yeah.
Was my point. It could have been easy, but just cash it in.
I liked it.
Yeah. I think that the one other shout out I wanted to make from this series is that Aroldis Chapman lost his hitless streak, which was pretty epic.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie.
You can only talk about it so much for it to not bite you in the ass. Because it's like, I was like, they keep talking it. They keep talking it. And I'm like, eventually, because he is human, he's going to give up a hit, like a run, but at least a hit. And it's like, it happened.
The 4 strikeouts in the inning, I was like, okay, let's wrap this up. Let's wrap this up. Come on, dude.
Yeah, we were playing with fire at that point. That was crazy. But like, think about how many batters that is. Like 54 batters, or whatever it was. That's the equivalent of like throwing 2+ no hitters.
Yeah, no, it wasn't just no hitters.
Like
it was 2+ perfect games.
No, he had a walk in there. It wasn't a perfect streak. It was hitless streak, but still, it felt like pretty close to perfect, almost all of them.
Yeah.
No runs is perfect to me, baby.
I'll take it.
So it did kind of stink that was the first run that he had given up and allowed since like July, beginning of July or something like that, or maybe it's the end of June. I can't remember. It's been so long. So yeah, one of the all-time relief seasons if he doesn't implode. Going forward, I'm not worried about it though. I think he was pitching to Ali Sanchez.
Now that he knows how to locate a fastball, dog. He's a whole different pitcher.
That's all you needed to know. Just locate your fastball.
I cannot believe that.
I didn't realize that he wasn't even pitching to Connor Wong at that point, who had been typically catching for him, and even Narvaez.
Yeah, maybe if he was throwing to them.
Can't teach an old dog new tricks. You can teach a 40-year-old relief pitcher who's been baseball for 20 years. You can locate a fastball.
Yeah, and I love the crap that's been coming out about it now too, because Aaron Judge, because the John Boy guys asked Judge, asked Boone, like, oh hey, have you ever talked to him about locating a fastball? And he was like, well, yeah, of course we have. And then you had, I think it was Buster Olney, come out and be like, that's not what I heard. And they're like, feuding.
What was Boone supposed to say? Because if he said, "Oh no, we never told him to locate his fastball," I'm like, "Are you an idiot?"
Yeah, well, we know you're an idiot.
How did you not notice?
But I just love that it's like immediately like, oh, what are you talking about? No, this is. But it also kind of crazy that if this is true, that this is the first time in a 15-year career that they're like, oh, you know what? Maybe we should try locating that 102 first. Being
a Hall of Famer without knowing to locate a fastball is absurd.
Yeah. And kind of pitching at 37 like you're 22. Insane.
Yeah, it's nuts.
One thing I will say, this is off topic, but West Coast vibes, I guess you can probably appreciate this, Bayleigh. This is kind of moving into like a closing thoughts for me, final thoughts here. Have you guys seen the videos going viral of Drew Gilbert from the Giants?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a biter.
Dude
is a psychopath. It is so funny watching it.
I pray to God no one gives that young man Adderall. I do not want to be here when that happens. No,
he is just absolutely hyped in the dugout. And I saw a video clip. It was very funny. It was a clip from the Pat McAfee show, and it was him reacting to this Drew Gilbert like montage for the first time. He didn't even know who he was. Very, very funny clip, and especially coming from guys that are mostly football guys. But Pat McAfee just absolutely like he loves this guy now.
It's so great to see guys being able to like truly be themselves, because
Great for the
you
sport
wouldn't.
too.
Yeah, it's like we love seeing that. Like, yeah,
All I could
bite
think
Robbie
was like,
Ray.
Yeah.
what do you?
Get choked up by Chapman, like, you know.
I'm just like, what is Devers thinking of all this? That's like
I played
one
third.
thing going through my mind.
Yeah.
I played third. That's all I was thinking
Exactly.
about.
Yeah. That's it. That's all he's doing. Yeah,
It's
it's
like
kind
one
of
of the clips. It
funny.
was like him like taking Devers' helmet off of him after a home run, and like I'm just thinking
Devers is
like
probably like,
this
"What are you doing?"
Devers is like probably
just-
like this gringo crazy loco.
But it's like you have like Matt Chapman choking him out. I'm like, what is happening?
More than once. Like it's
Yeah.
like their thing.
It's
Mm.
the boys getting horny in the clubhouse. It happens, man.
All right.
It happens.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Can you just imagine though if he was on the Red Sox right now with
I'd
the
love it.
vibes that they already had? Like how
Give me this kid.
insane! Like
Yeah. Also,
'cause
let's
he's not-
imagine if the Red Sox sucked and he was in the clubhouse right now, and how that would go on sports radio.
Oh yeah. Oh,
Telling
I'd love
himself
it.
that you see that new kid, just just acting crazy. Back in my day, you would have sent him down a double A. None of that shit.
Yeah. I'm just picturing him and like Peyton Tolley and Crochet and Dick Fitz there on the bench, just like going crazy. You know, it's like got to be one of the all-time
Oh, yeah.
bench combinations of all time.
It would be fun.
I feel like one thing that's gonna be fun about the postseason baseball too is like all the guys that we have hurt that are all just like gonna be in the dugout for every game, and it's gonna be just like you cut to a shot of the dugout. It's like Marcelo and Roman, and
Yeah.
you know, and you're like looking over there. You're like, is that Dustin May? Oh, is that Liam Hendricks? Is that Tristan Casas? And they're all just like doing the turbulent flight.
The guys
and
who weren't
like,
even on the flight, like
yeah. These guys haven't flown in months. They've been
Nope.
stationed in Boston. Yeah, just objectively very funny
Mhm.
to see those guys like getting hyped, but
Oh yeah.
they're there for their teammates. Ali Sanchez, they show him in the dugout, and I'm like, oh well, yeah, I forget you were on the team every
Yeah,
single
you're a
time.
thing.
I thought you were one of the trainers. He's a nice looking guy, like probably good looking, handsome fella.
Does well for himself, you know.
What's that quote from Moneyball, where it's like, if he's handsome, it means it's if he's ugly, he lacks confidence.
Yeah.
So what is it? Oh, he says he has an ugly girlfriend, so he lacks
Yeah.
confidence.
He lacks confidence.
That's the line. Yeah. Anyways, what do you got for final thoughts here, Bayleigh?
Ooh. My final thought is that I'm excited for these next 3 games. They're super important. I think that this team is really good. I think they have a hot streak left in them. And if they have a hot streak, because you got to start getting, I don't know, like right now at this point, Sedan, here I'm going to talk about Sedan, is just the same Sedan that he was last year. But if we could get another random hot streak that he had like leading up into the break, going into the playoffs, his numbers will really jump up. You'll be like, wow, let's get him to above average. If you can do that, like, I think everybody else goes. So, like, so get these guys, get Jaron going. Like, if we start having that, like, little bit of a hot streak in them, got to get Bregman going.
Yeah,
They could be lethal. Like, they're like a hot streak away from being lethal. And I think they have it in them. Let's go. I'm excited for these next 3 games. Let's just destroy. We're at Fenway. Let's go.
Shout out Rob Rev Snyder, man, for hitting the longest home run of the Red Sox season
So
during this
good.
series as well.
Destroyed that. I love how he's
463
like, I
pang.
never hit anything that hard or long again. Like, he's like, yep.
Same
Respect the
girl,
honesty.
Isiah, final thoughts for you.
Yeah, tough to one up what Bayleigh just said. I just thankful to watch baseball in September and for it to matter.
Yeah.
It's fun to be like, oh, we got all these young guys coming through. What can we do the next couple of years? But I'm trying to also be in the present and just enjoy this shit, because like I've been begging for this for so long now, and I just want to enjoy it. It's nice that like the weather's starting to like finally cool down here in New England. Like I'm seeing like the 60s. and turn a baseball game on like 7, and we're in the hunt for for the division.
Yeah.
Just thankful once again. Just thankful.
Agreed. And I'm excited to be at Fenway next week on Wednesday,
Nice.
going to Section 10 night. Got to
Fun.
represent with a lot of the Twitter community that's going to be there. I know Isaiah's he's going with me. I got our tickets
Oh,
to get
fun.
next to each other, sitting. What?
I told you I had a concert, dog.
I got the tickets though. I got the 2 tickets.
You got to miss that concert now.
Yeah, we'll talk about this offline. I don't know if this is a bit or not right now. I'm hoping it's a bit.
Yeah, no, I just bought a solo ticket for this because Isaiah decided to ditch me and go to a stupid concert, but
How
it's okay.
dare.
It's an artist who rarely comes to America, mind you. That's been my favorite artist for 6+ years. But that's neither here nor there.
Yes, that's neither here nor there. So I will be there. Hopefully, see some of you guys there as well. I know quite a few people have posted that they're going, so it should be a fun time. And I think that there's going to be some sort of an event at the House of Blues beforehand, so I might try to go to that too. But yeah, I think we're going to be recording. So next week the series is weird. So the next weekday series, they have Monday off, and then they're Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And Thursday is an early game, so we'll probably record around this time again, Thursday night before the Friday series. So, yeah, hopefully we can pull out 3 against the Yankees. We didn't go over any probable matchups. I feel like we didn't really need to. I feel like we didn't really go into a lot of the details of the series either, but I think this was, a good conversation about what's coming up and the state of where we're at. And I'm excited to see. I think we looking at the schedule. We have the recording that we're going to do next week, and then we're going to do one more recording the week after that on a Thursday night as well. And that one it'll be a late recording because that's a 7 p.m. game against the Blue Jays, and that's it. Then the season's over and it's playoffs.
Let's go.
It's crazy. 2 more weeks of recording, and then we're there.
So
Let's
close.
freaking go.
Hell yeah.
All right, guys. It's been real. On behalf of Beyond the Monster, thank you all for tuning in so far this season. We really appreciate having everybody on board with us. Give us a follow on Instagram. We're trying to build our following on there at the Pesky Report. Reposting clips and highlights of the minor league guys and some of the major league guys as well. So if you want to get a chance to see the prospects that we talk about a lot on our minor league show, go do that. Earlier this week, Hunter and Derek and those guys interviewed Brian. Wow, blanking on his last name.
Abraham.
Brian Abraham, the director of player development with the Red Sox. Awesome interview, and he talked a lot about. Great stuff. They talked about Christian Campbell and what he's working on specifically, like a ton of specifics. Some stuff about him and his future, and just what he's seeing in the early and the pitching prospects. And so it's a really great interview. Go check that out as well. And of course, if you're not following us on Twitter at the Pesky Report, we'll love to connect with you on there. We'll see you guys next week for the weekday show, and go.